Hey, did you ever wonder how you make your own cheese? No? That's too bad. I'm going to show you anyway. Hi, besties. I'm Britt the Creator. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I missed you. In today's episode, we're going to learn how to make our own farmhouse mozzarella cheese at home with just two basic ingredients, but we're going to add a little flair. Okay, so I know I said two ingredients and you see more than that, but I did not lie. The only two ingredients you actually need to make mozzarella cheese is going to be whole milk and white distilled vinegar. Those are the two things that are absolutely needed. As far as everything else, well, we're just going to kick it up a notch. So, even though you only need the milk and the vinegar to make the cheese, it can be a little bland when you make it that way. So I decided to kick it up a notch, and we are going to do a garlic and herb mozzarella. So here I have some chopped green onions from my own garden, some rosemary also from my own garden, and some fresh garlic. So making this cheese is actually really easy, and I'll list everything you need down below. So you are going to need a large pot, large enough to hold an entire gallon of milk, okay? You're going to pour that entire gallon into the pot. You're going to need a spoon to stir with, a large bowl and a strainer, some cheesecloth, and white distilled vinegar, and you might want to grab a kitchen thermometer. So first things first, we're going to take this entire gallon of milk and we are going to pour it in this pot. All right, now we have a pot of milk. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take that pot and we're going to put it on the stove on medium heat. And while that's heating up, I'm going to chop our herbs. Okay, our herbs have been chopped pretty well, so now we're going to add them to the pot with our milk that's simmering. What you see is what you get. All we have right now is warm milk. We're going to add our garlic and our rosemary and green onion, and we're going to stir that around, and the milk is going to get all that flavor from the herbs. So basically you're going to keep the milk on medium heat until it reaches about 160 degrees. Fahrenheit, that is. We're not even close. We are at 66 degrees. I'll come back when it's about 160. All right, as you can see, we're right in the 160 range, 160 degrees Fahrenheit, a little over. So now it's time for the next step. You're gonna stir it just a little bit more. Make sure we keep the heat at medium heat. We don't want to scorch the milk. But now you're gonna take exactly 1 cup of white distilled vinegar and pour it in slowly while you're stirring. And you're gonna see something start to change in just a few minutes. You can already see a texture change in the milk. There are solid pieces forming, and that's exactly what we want. So there's an old nursery rhyme that I actually did not understand until I started making cheese. It's the Little Miss Muffet nursery rhyme. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds and whey. I had no idea what curds and whey were or what it was pertaining to, but now you do, because what you see here are curds and whey. When the milks separate, you have cheese curds, and the liquid that's left is known as the whey. I still don't really understand why Little Miss Muffet was eating curds and whey exactly. That part doesn't really make sense, but at least I know what curds and whey are now, so I have a point of reference. We're gonna let that keep going for a few minutes, and we're almost done. When it looks like it's separated pretty much all it's gonna separate, we're gonna turn off the heat. And now the next part is gonna be a little hot and we're gonna move quick. So over here, I've got my strainer, my large bowl, and my cheesecloth. And what we're going to do is we're gonna take our pot of now separated curds and whey, and we're gonna pour it, just like this, into the strainer. What we're doing now is separating our curds and whey into different portions. So that's what the cheesecloth is for, because our cheesecloth holds the actual cheese itself, and everything that's left in the bowl is the whey. Okay, so now we've emptied our whey, and what you want to do here is I'm going to add another little layer of cheesecloth here, because I'm sure you can see the steam coming off of it. This is actually still really hot. We're basically going to twist and make the cheesecloth squeeze as much liquid out of our curds as possible. And once you feel like you've gotten as much liquid as you can, you're going to take it out of the cheesecloth. So here you want to grab a bowl or whatever container that you're going to put your cheese into. I like to wrap mine in parchment paper or butcher's paper. It just makes things a lot easier. And we're going to take our cheese here, roll it out of the cheesecloth and into our bowl. Here's where you're going to add a little bit of salt, because if you don't, I promise you it's bland and it might stick to the cheesecloth a little bit. That's normal if you let it sit in the cheesecloth too long. It does get a little sticky. So now we have the cheese here, and what we're going to do is we're going to salt it just a bit. We're gonna kind of chop and stir that a bit. Okay, and now you're just gonna flatten that down, fold your parchment paper or your butcher's paper back over like that, and then we put it in the fridge. So that's pretty much it for now. We pop the mozzarella into the fridge and we're gonna leave it there overnight, and I'll come back and show you what we have in the morning. Okay, besties, it's about 6:45 in the morning and we are going to check on our cheese. And here it is. There is our garlic and herb mozzarella cheese. You can actually take a knife, cut a little piece off. Solid cheese. So thanks for hanging out with me, besties, while we made some farmhouse mozzarella cheese from scratch, and now you've learned a new skill. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, scream into the void, all that stuff, and join me next time to see what we're making next. I'm Britt the Creator. Bye.
I'm not crazy, I'm just broken. One too many magic potions. 1, 2, 3, they sing to me, the voices in my head. It's not bad here, kind of fun, the color.